Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Welcome to Flying Solo, the dating reality podcast. I'm your captain, Captain Aaron, and these are my co-hosts, all former contestants on ABC's The Bachelor.
Hello, I'm Lindsay, and I was on Ben Flanick's season of The Bachelor, and he gave me the boot because he did not like my saucy, English, naughty personality.
Hi, I'm Anne, and I was on Jason Mesnick's season of The Bachelor, the very first single dad ABC ever had, and I got the boot pretty early on because I did not play well with the producers, so I was a producer's boot night one.
And I'm Jesse, winner of Bachelorette Season 4 and retired pro snowboarder. And guess what? I didn't get the boot. I freaking won. It's so good to be back in the cockpit. Let's get this shit started.
For any new listeners out there, Flying Solo is a dating reality podcast where we get to know local singles and match them up all live on the podcast. Each episode, we feature a single, blindfold them, bring in 3 matches, ask a bunch of questions, get to know them all. Then we have the wing ceremony where the featured single will decide which co-pilot they want to give their wings to and take out on a date. And remember, the lead single is blindfolded, so they will have to pick their co-pilot based solely on their personality. Now, before we meet this week's single, we have a fan question from Jessie in Phoenix. She wants to know, this cracks me up, were you actually attracted to your bachelor or your bachelorette when you went on the show? Me is a big fat no. He's very conservative, very boring, not my cup of tea. I'm this crazy English lass, so it just was not going to be a match, and I knew that going in. Anne and Jessie.
Ladies first.
Okay, so I was a flight attendant at the time. And
Jason was a good-looking dude.
All right, hold on. I'm not going to say anything bad. So Jason Mesnick was my bachelor, the single dad, and I was a flight attendant at the time. I'm in the lounge waiting for a flight. They call me and they go, hey, we wanted to let you know that we just chose the bachelor for your season. It's Jason Mesnick. I wasn't on the show that long ago, but I didn't Google him when they said it. They said, okay, it's Jason Mesnick. Are you attracted to him? We want to make sure before you come on the show. I'm like, I didn't look him up, didn't do anything. I said, oh, sure. We get there. I had no idea who he was because I didn't watch the show. And when I saw him, I thought he was cute, but
Fast forward 10 years, he was a
I'm going to say
groomsman
something
in our
offensive
wedding.
to my husband. I felt like he was a little shorter than I would have hoped, but he's the same height as my husband.
It's not the size of the vessel, Anne.
Oh, gosh.
Jeez.
What about you, Jessie? You and Deanna, was it love at first sight?
You know, I have a thing for curvy brunettes, go figure. And, she fit the bill, but I didn't Google her. I like personality. I like whatever. She had a good personality. She had that Southern twang, I'm a redneck from Cleveland, so it worked,
So I have a funny story why I got the boot. So a girl came running in, Emily O'Brien, who's blonde, and she was devastated. Ben prefers brunettes. He prefers brunettes. So I say, well, with me, if he wants a blonde, he gets a blonde, pointing to my head. Then I point down to my crotch and say, well, if he wants a brunette, he gets a brunette too. Best of both worlds. Then we were playing kickball that night, and I was like, well, ladies, at least we all know we can handle his balls. I did not get a rose that night.
Oh.
He did not appreciate my dirty English sense of humor.
That's awesome.
You said this out loud?
I said it out loud for him and the cameras and everyone to hear. I wasn't holding back. I'm English.
This is amazing. I love it. I love it.
So, without further ado, let's meet this week's single, the marvelous Mike, whose friends describe him as a cool breeze. But first, how did we find this breath of fresh air, one might ask? Mike was referred to us by Karen Monique, the Chief Love Officer at sparkoffline.com, an exclusive matchmaking agency that's all offline. I bet all the young people listening are like, dating offline? Wait, what is that?
I gotta know.
That actually happens?
I just want to know because, I'm a tree trimmer. How does one get the title?
Chief Love Officer?
Thank you. That's incredible. I have to know.
Thanks to Steve Harvey. I used to follow him a lot.
Steve Harvey, ooh.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
Lindsay knows Steve Harvey.
I do. Him and I are BFFs, yeah.
I love him.
So, Karen, tell us all about sparkoffline.com, what you do, what sets you apart, and then I will let you introduce your single, Mike.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. So, Spark Offline. So, let me ask you a rhetorical question, and that is, do you know someone who's looking for love? Yes, I am Karen, the Chief Love Officer of SparkOffline.com. I match and coach successful singles 100% offline. We don't do the dating apps. We don't do the swiping. We don't do a bunch of profiles that you have to go through. So what sets me apart is every single person, whether they're a high-end client or whether they're in my database, we vet them to make sure that they're wanting something more than just casual. So anyone that wants to use Spark Offline, they're looking for long-term or marriage, essentially.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say we all need to get better names. This chief love officer thing's really got me thinking.
What I love about her and her website is she does not allow any filters or any of her pictures for her clients.
True.
She's like, no filters, no editing, has to be raw and real.
I like that.
And that's another thing that sets me apart from anything that's online dating app. You don't know who you're getting at the end of or behind a digital device. Anybody can create a profile and claim to be anybody, right? So I eliminate catfish. We all know what that is. I eliminate convicted felons. Sorry.
It's fair. Nobody wants to get stabbed when they're going to Pound Town.
Did you know they have websites, convictedcuties.com and meetaninmate.com? Watch the show Love After Lockup. It's actually very addicting.
This is incredible. The cornucopia of knowledge that we have on this show is mind-bending.
I eliminate people who have bad intentions, and that's on both sides. And then most of all, the number one thing that is president on dating apps are people who are married and already in relationships.
That statistic is scarily high. It is so alarmingly high.
So without further ado, I do want to introduce everybody to Mike.
Woohoo! Welcome, Mike.
Mike, buddy.
Mike is one of my favorite clients, and we actually became really good friends over the years. He's a successful single based out of Gilbert, Arizona.
I like it.
And he is really attracted to women who take care of themselves because that is something that is important to him as well. So,
Mike, I can assure you, every lady in here takes very good care of themselves. There's no ducks in the room. I know I say that every episode. There's no ducks in the room.
You quack me up.
Yeah, right.
Are you including Lindsay and I?
Yes, there's no ducks in the room. Everybody looks fabulous.
I do really feel bad for you, Mike, because all these three women are amazing, beautiful inside and out. So you have a hard choice.
Perfect.
There. So tell us about yourself. What do you got?
What do I got? Got a lot to offer. Just the guy that's still got a 17-year-old kid at home, taking care of him, making sure before he gets there to college that he's set and ready to go. Giving him the background and what he needs to do and how he needs to be operating in life as far as towards work, business, women, treating them the right way, trying to do all that.
And guys, I'm gonna just fill you in on what's going on right now. Mike is sitting here blindfolded for all of you listening.
We gave him 30 seconds before he explained what we were doing and shoved a blindfold on him.
Yeah. This is not.
So it's very, very bright in here.
Yeah, exactly. Dude can't see anything. This is the most awkward situation you could be in while dating, right? He has 3 women in the room staring at him. Actually, there's 6 because there's my wife, Lindsay, the dating expert, and then the 3 lovely ladies here. He has no idea what anybody looks like, and he's sitting here blindfolded talking about himself. There is no more awkward situation than that. So Mike,
can't be,
just know, all is good, my man. I'm here for you. Just relax and think about being at that first dinner with mom, with the lady.
Why is mom at all your dates that you talk about?
Hey, mom is an important woman in a man's life. I'm just saying. It doesn't matter.
Gotta keep it real.
Yeah. So just think when you're
Gotta
chatting.
have mom approve.
That's right. Yeah. The questions you may ask, the questions mom may ask, and then get ahead of it. Bro, no pressure. You have like 45 minutes to date 3 women.
It's quicker than The Bachelor, right?
Yeah, this is
So,
quick.
Mike, what do you do and what do you do for fun?
I am in the realm of, for the last 8 years, I've been doing the fitness stuff for myself. Obviously to not for showing anybody else, but it was strictly for me after getting divorced. It was just something that I wanted to try and get. The thing I was starting with is I started doing macros before pretty much anybody started doing macros. I had a coach that knew his stuff, but macros wasn't a big thing 9 years ago, really. Did that, went to him to basically say, I just want to get a 6-pack because I've never had a 6-pack, couldn't figure out how to get it, wanted to be that elite 1% type of that just to see if I could do it at the age that I was at. And went through that. And
Just
I've
for
been
our
doing
viewers,
all that
Mike,
myself,
how old are you since you brought up age?
54.
54. I like it. Dude's in good shape.
Oh my God, he's such a young 54.
Yeah.
You're like a Hollywood 54, like a Brad Pitt 54.
For real. For real. It brings, what's that? What was the movie?
I always said Benjamin Buttons. I'd be like, I'm just trying to go backwards. And it's not all aesthetically on the outside. It's a lot of it's just found out a friend actually had a serious, almost died accident in Florida this last week. He's 2 years younger than me. And it's all because of how taking care of yourself. So a lot of stuff isn't externally, it's more internally. As far as keeping the body healthy, obviously we all need to have that to keep going forward. And with all the toxins and stuff that's out there, it's just clean eating, not necessarily all clean eating. I still drink alcohol. That's always been a part of my whole thing the whole time. So a lot of people, when I tell them I did macros, they just assumed alcohol wasn't part of it. So once they found out about that, they then decide, hey, show me how to do it then. But their first elimination was like, well, you can't drink. Oh, I can't do that.
Oh, so you can't make all your macros drinking. Is that what you're saying?
You can.
I just need to.
No, I do. And the
Leave it to Ann.
liquid carbs are the same as the food carbs. I agree. I'm all about that. So it's all moderation. It's all balance. It's everything like that. So it's basically a lot of it's just trying to keep healthy on the inside more than outside. So being healthy on the inside shows the outside.
So
coming through.
Now that we know that you're into fitness, we're going to introduce you to one of our first ladies.
Here's Mo, a positive team player who is hardworking, loyal, honest, and active. And Anne, didn't you meet Mo at the gym?
Okay, so actually, I don't think Mo even knows me. I must be like a stalker of some kind. We have so many mutual friends. Yeah, so we went to the same gym. Which so let's give Ofa some credit here and give her a little publicity. So
My
it used to be
girl,
True
Ofa.
Hit. It's now called. How does she say the new gym name?
Malohi's.
The best gym, you guys. If you're looking for like a community, Jesse and I were there for years, and our best friends we'll have for life, still there. Such a great gym. It's such a cool place. But that's how we know each other. I mean,
Love you, Ofa.
Sort of know each other.
Me too.
But tell us more about you.
I am a single mom of 2 boys,
How old?
18 and 19.
I like it.
I'm 38 for one more week. So yes, I started young. I'm a mortgage broker. So I've been doing
Mo
that for
loans.
Mo loans. I've been doing that for 17 years. And let's see, I
just went on a trip too. Tell us about your trip.
I like to travel. I just got back from Greece. I was there. I took my son and went with one of my friends. What else? I work out. I work at the gym one day a week.
For free membership, right?
Free, yep, exactly.
Good thinking.
But I've been there for 8 years, so I'm committed, and I love it. It's just every single day I'm there. So that's a huge part of my life. That's like my biggest community there. And
It's a great community. That gym and those people are awesome.
Yeah, we do so many charity things, events. I mean, we're always helping as many people as we can. We've changed like so many lives, and we count macros for sure. So definitely familiar with that. Let's see. On the side, I love movie and films. So I've dabbled in that a bit, comedy mostly.
That a girl.
Yeah. So I wrote a short film that's actually, you can watch it on Tubi. I'm sorry, it's a full feature now. It was rewritten, but it's definitely funny. And I like to fly my drone when I'm on vacation. So I'm definitely into that.
I was literally going to ask you this because I saw footage of you like overhead on one of your Instagram things. And I'm like, did she hire a drone photographer in Greece?
I actually started doing the drone stuff for real estate. That was originally why I got it. Because I was like, I'm going to film some houses. And then I'm like, okay, I'm taking this to Hawaii. My sister lives in Hawaii. I go there every year. So yeah, that's, I definitely film everything. So
I feel like you're kind of a fireball too. I feel like a lot of our friends that know you say you're like very much a fireball. Like tell us like what is a typical guy that you've dated in the past? Are they you? I mean, you're still single. So tell us like, it obviously didn't work out. What kind of guys do you typically go for?
Man, that's a good question. Cause I have a range,
Get us. We're all ears.
Well, they have to not be intimidated by my work ethic and my success. That is a huge factor. I've had some situations where they just,
guys are like that for some reason, which I don't get.
Yeah.
They feel intimidated by your success versus supporting that and pushing that up. Much as high as you can get.
I've heard it all. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a huge thing for me. So the guys I've dated, I guess, were more like wanting to learn from me or build with me. So it was more like a partnership instead of,
because I try not, I'm masculine in my role in mortgage because I've had to be.
With a name like Mo Loans, you can't be a pansy. I'm just saying, just throwing that out there.
There's a feminine side that I want to be at home and I want to be present and just be, and that is where I've learned to cut it off as soon as I'm at home. So the guys I've dated are just, they're supportive, and fun and like to travel and do stuff. But yes, sometimes they don't work out.
So Mo, you seem like a girl that really knows what she wants. What are your deal breakers?
I don't deal with disloyalty at all. That's a huge factor for me. If you can't be honest, hurt my feelings, I don't care. I'd rather someone be like, hey, I'm not interested in you instead of cheating on me. Or I feel disconnected and then let's just take a break, something like that. But, so that's a deal breaker for me. Laziness. Obviously I get up, I'm a morning person, I work out. So it builds resentment sometimes when you're with someone who isn't on the same track as you. I definitely love to travel. So make it happen. Or I'm going without you. So yeah, if you don't want to travel, then, it's not a deal breaker, but I'm just going to go.
What are your love languages? Let's get down to the brass tacks.
Okay. I'm not words of affirmation. I could tell you that. I am time spent, acts of service.
Quality time and acts of service.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So, gifts, I like them if they're thoughtful. I'm not like a flower girl. So I'm like, they die, it's like a waste of money to me. I don't know.
I'm the exact same. I was never into flowers.
Give me a great cheat meal. Let's go out to a really nice cheat meal.
There we go.
Or of course a vacation,
with a cheat meal.
Yeah. I'm a foodie on vacation. Macros are out the door, but in Greece, I actually lost weight because the food is so clean there.
You'd be the first person ever to lose weight on vacation.
1 pound. That was it. Just 1 pound. But, everything on the island was grown there. So, and they don't have a lot of sweets. They did, but I was mostly eating carbs and stuff.
So Mike, do you have any questions for Mo? Mo, do you have any questions for Mike? Let's get to know each other.
Yeah, Mike. Okay. So you have one son?
One son, correct.
Okay. I know you said you're 54, right?
54, but I don't feel 54. Don't act 54.
Dude, looks like he's 40.
No, you don't. I was really shocked when you said that. My question is, are you open to more children?
Dun,
no.
dun, dun, dun.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
At this point, I can't.
That's fair, bro. I get it. I got snipped. Three kids on birth control. I got snipped. I feel your pain. No mess.
I guess it's possible if you reverse it and all that stuff. But
sounds like a lot of work.
Because you can reverse it. If somebody said, hey, I still want to have kids, would you be open to reversing it?
It would have to really be the right situation and the right, that's just fair. Thinking of it. It's kind of hard to think about going back to that initial starting point again.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, putting 18 years on top of that. And if you add that to my age, it's just, I don't know. It seems like women wouldn't be on board with that, but I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of that where, older guys are having, kids at that age. So I guess it's
Robert De Niro,
Al Pacino.
Well, I saw that. I saw that's kind of the extreme case, but then I've also heard too, it's like, well, I think of you when you're that old, that kind of thing. So that's always been that kind of situation. And it kind of, you do that, it kind of changes your travel plans if you have your ability, your availability to do things as well. So
those are good points. And that's very unselfish of you to think of the age factor, because I did lose both my parents and I'm 38. So I was adopted by my grandparents. So I would love to have them around. That'd be great. But
I can't imagine, I'm 40 and I think if we started over again,
I would die.
Changing
you have to get a new gear, because it takes a lot. Just to have small kids and try to keep up with them. You get, we all know about how tired we are at the end of the day, just from trying to keep up.
I tried to send my 6-year-old to bed himself last night. I was like, do you think you could just go upstairs?
And he just looks at you like, what? But all right, we got to move along here.
Thank you so much, Mo. Wait, if someone needs a loan officer, where do they go to find you? Because you are awesome.
Well, thank you. I work at Barrett Financial. They can just they could Google Mo Loans or Melissa Oldham.
Let's stick with Mo Loans.
Yeah,
it's got a ring to it.
Mo. So it's MO with no E and then space loans.
And I will say, you are so responsive. Every time I send you a message, whether it's email, Facebook, text, you respond within like 2 seconds. So she's on it.
And where are you located at?
I live in North Phoenix.
Okay.
Basically off Tatum and the 101.
Got
so
it.
I'm not far.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's a 20-minute drive.
Sweet.
Yeah. My office is in Gilbert, but I don't go there often. But
I know where that is.
Thank you so much, Mo. Now let's meet Tracy, a nurse practitioner who is a beautiful soul, sweet, kind, and loves taking care of people, and who looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the hat. Love the outfit.
Love the hat. Love the hat, for sure.
I'm a hat person.
What kind of hat?
This is just a felt hat, but maybe it's my job. I wear a lot of scrub hats too, so it just
I'm going to call this, do you know who Lainey Wilson is?
No.
Is that not a Lainey Wilson hat?
Not really.
No? I think it's a Lainey Wilson
Lainey
hat.
Wilson's hats are like very over the top.
Well, okay. This is and I mean, I love the hat. It's a basic Lainey Wilson hat.
Okay, it's a hat. I like your hat.
Yes.
Thank you. I mean, I'm not gonna, it's someone else's business, but they just opened down here and we have an appointment at Mill and Hobbs if you're familiar with them. And she is all custom. So I'm super excited to do that one.
Very cool. Very cool.
Exciting. So tell us about yourself. What do you do? What do you do for fun?
So, gosh, I have lived in Arizona. Well, first of all, I'm 46 years old and I've lived in Arizona for over 40 years. I wasn't born here, but I consider myself an indoctrinated native.
Where are you from originally?
Originally, I was born in Pennsylvania, Allentown.
East Coast.
Billy Joel, yeah. My grandparents retired in Lake Havasu, so I have family there. And living there in the 80s as a young kid, totally different, but not that much different even now.
I lived in New Jersey for a little while. I vaguely remember Allentown. Is that Amish country?
Close to.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
My dad used to drive semi-truck to
She's
Allentown
not wearing an
once a week.
Amish hat of any kind. Just
No, no.
clear that one up.
That very classy hat.
Okay, I got
Lainey
it.
Wilson would approve.
Yeah, so I grew up here, went to school here, and work in the West Valley. I've been a nurse 23 years and a nurse practitioner now for 8. And my current role is in neurointervention, and people are like, what the heck is that?
That's smart guy talk. Can we get down to the caveman terms? Hey, can we get a crayon in here, please?
Basically, my patient population is anybody with problems in the vascular from head up. So that includes strokes, aneurysms, brain bleeds, clots in the brain.
Jesse needs your number because he's the biggest hypochondriac on the planet. He'll get a migraine and be like,
Oh, man.
I swear it's a tumor, Ian. Can you feel anything?
I've never, ever said that.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all.
I've never said that, ever. But thank you.
So I love what I do. It can be demanding. You kind of always have to be on. So for fun, when I, get to relax, I like to get outdoors. I'm very active, so I can appreciate, and I always say we practice what we preach. It's really hard to sit and tell my patients, lower your blood pressure, get out and exercise when, they look at you and are like, well, why don't you do that too?
Do you count macros?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
I feel like there's two kinds of people that are healthy. They either just count the macros and do all the things, or they just are moderation, good exercise.
And then there's me. I don't walk from the grocery store to the liquor store, and they're in the same parking lot. So,
And then there's me, and I don't even know what macros are or counting back. Never heard of it
fair.
before in my life.
That's fair.
So I actually got into counting macros. I have 2 daughters. So one is going to be 20 in a couple of days, about a week, and then my youngest is 16. And then I have a son who is deceased. Unfortunately, he passed away when he was 17, so he would be 23. Thank you. So out of his passing, I actually run a nonprofit in his name, and I sit on the board of directors here in Arizona for the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. So not to bring down our episode, but you can kind of infer from that some a big mental health component to what I do. And then I run our stroke support group at work. So
Love that.
kind of my life enmeshes into what I do as extracurricular activities, but that doesn't mean I'm all seriousness all the time.
You also don't look like you could have a 20-year-old.
He'd be 23 right now. But thank you.
That is crazy. I was just thinking, how nice it would be to have all of our children wiping their own asses, and then, goals.
It goes fast.
Goals.
It goes fast.
Everybody has goals. Just saying.
What questions do you have for Mike? Do you have any questions for Mike? Or Mike, do you have any questions that you can think of right away?
Dinner with mom.
Trying to think.
No more
Dinner
dinner.
with
Don't start with
mom.
a dinner with mom thing. Okay, you go. Can you think of any good questions?
Yeah. What would be your number one deal breaker? I think everybody has one, right?
Well, smoking would be one for sure.
That's a good one.
100% of the people that we get to know for this show, 100% say no smoking. Everyone.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I don't know how anyone still is smoking.
Y'all
these
don't move
days,
to
but
Kentucky, because I was just in Kentucky and everybody smokes.
Okay.
Everybody.
But hold on. Ted and Willie My parents.
We don't know that they don't smoke.
They don't smoke, first off. And they do live in Kentucky. So I'm just saying. Just saying.
So any other deal breakers, Mike?
Just coming across, I mean, a lot of people have a personality that's just bad. And I refer it to as a quote from a movie as a personality like a car crash. And so a person can be very good looking, but if their personality sucks, then it pretty much changes the way they look, to me, in my opinion. So
it's not the vessel, it's the personality.
Somebody there. So I look for that situation. Someone has a good heart, has a kind heart, shows things towards others, and all that. So what kind of music do you like?
Ooh, I love all kinds of music. What I'm really into right now is kind of like I have phases that I ebb and flow through. So what I'm really into right now is there is a local group here called Catastro. I don't know if you're familiar with them. So if you think of kind of like Dirty Heads, I'm really into a new album that came out by a band called The Elevators. So kind of think of, I don't want to say it's reggae mixed with kind of some edged rap. It's kind of, I don't know, it's not super island vibe, but I love them. Like that's currently
you
my
sound like
flow.
a music person.
Different.
I love music. Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
The Lainey Wilson hat helps. I'm just saying.
My gosh.
Just saying. And
so concerts and everything like that as well?
Yep. Concerts, I've even gone by myself. So
that's okay.
I've had to do that myself too, not trying to be able to find somebody to go with me. And I just was like, I can't miss the band. So I guess I'll go hang out by myself, which was awkward at first. But once I was there, everyone was just like, hey, who are you here with? I'm like, just me.
So Tracy, do you get easily offended? I know Mike, one of the things he mentioned was that he needs someone that does not get offended easily.
No, my background is emergency and trauma medicine, so we're usually more of the offensive.
You have seen some shit.
We're usually the offenders.
Okay, but
more than we have a tough skin.
What makes Mike say that though? Mike, are you very like blunt and honest? Like, do you just say it how it is? Like if a girl says, do you like this outfit? Do you placate her?
I am not the one who is going to make a false statement towards somebody to make them think it's okay when it maybe might not be. So I'm very much about telling the straight up truth.
That's fair.
Being as upfront and honest as it should be. And that's the right thing to do with somebody who you're with, is that you are both using each other and telling each other correctly everything that you don't like that kind of stuff.
Mike, how do your friends describe you? Like funny, goofy, serious, like outgoing? Are you an introvert, extrovert?
It's I kind of play two parts. At work, I'm pretty serious, and I don't really put work and outside life together. But if people at work were to see me on outside life, they'd be like, wait, who's that guy?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with my role that I do at work, I have to be in a serious role, and I'm just in a constant thinking type mode. I do a lot of financial analysis type stuff and forecasting of information. So I'm just in that driven circle of draining brain power during the day. But once I get out, I'm a totally different, obviously, person that's just relaxed, easygoing, wants to have fun, laugh. I guess my friends would say I'm serious, but then I don't have times when I'm not serious, but it just depends on what environment I'm in at the time. I'm adaptable.
It has to be that way. If you're a business owner or, you run a large group of people, you have to be that leader at work that people look up to, that they respect, etc. Right. But, coming home, you got to be able to have fun. You got to be able to, let your hair down, whatever you want to say, and do you, or,
Yeah, I like to laugh. I like to make people laugh. I like to be funny. I'm sarcastic. Again, back to the tough skin. It's not being you get butthurt from something that's said to you or anything like that.
Great. Well, any more questions, either of you, before we move on? Great. Well, thank you so much, Tracy. Now up, Kelley Anne, the uber fit bombshell who loves hiking and considers herself a pro smiler. And her friends describe her as being beautiful on the inside and out. She's definitely beautiful on the outside. So let's get to know her inside.
Sure. So I'll kind of do the same transcript they are. So I'm 45 years old, and I have two children, a son who's 21 and a daughter who's 16. I also have two foster girls that I mentor. So they're 7 and 9. They don't live with me full time, but I get them like on weekends and stuff like that for about 2 years now. And my career, so I've been in the pharmaceutical industry for 21 years, and I used to be a drug rep. Everyone usually knows what that is. But I'm actually, this past year, I got promoted into marketing. So I cover 15 states, and I do travel quite a bit. So I'm gone about 30% of the time. With that, most of my career, I have traveled up to 50%. So because of that, I wrote a book that gets launched in January that has to do with like fitness and wellness for business travelers.
What is the name of the book?
Fit in Transit.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. Thanks.
I have to say, I've sat through enough of these now to know this. I don't think I've ever seen a more outgoing group of women with tough skin than these three women right here. All three of them are very outgoing and seem to have very thick skin. They all have kids. They're all boss ladies. They all know what they want. I don't envy you. It's a tough decision. No pressure.
So what do you do on a weekend or your days off?
Sure. So I love to play because I work really hard. So to think about my garage, the toys I have. So I have 4 paddle boards. I have a kayak. I have an off-road Jeep that's totally decked out. I hike. Big hikes. Like I was actually supposed to do rim to rim today, and I told a friend I couldn't go so I could be here.
Name your favorite.
Thank you.
Dude, this chick just gave up rim to rim for you, bro. I don't know how to
this was
tell
like a
you
cool
that.
opportunity. So, and she's like, well, Grand Canyon's always there. So I'm like,
And
okay.
what was the exact story you told her what you were doing?
Yeah, I did. I said, this is a dating podcast that I got asked to be on. And so she was like, okay, it's always there. I can do another
Are
weekend.
you going tomorrow?
No, I'm not. I have a lot of other plans this weekend, but I backpack, I camp.
Okay, I have a very serious question.
Okay.
This may be a deal breaker.
Okay.
What's your favorite hike of all time?
You know what? I love anything out in the superstitions, honestly, but now of all time.
All time. I mean, like we're
man.
talking Yosemite, Yellowstone,
Mount
Grand
Rainier.
Canyon, Mount Rainier. You summited Rainier?
Yeah, it was super amazing. Yes.
18,000?
It was way up there. It's
16?
snowing on top, so
Oh,
you
for
have
sure.
to bring yak tracks and clamps and stuff like that. Right.
So I have a funny story. I'd never been hiking. I'm not a very big hiker. I'm not a very active person.
Well, we love you, but you're British, so that would explain that.
Our idea of a workout in England is drinking a beer. The bigger the beer, the better the workout.
Yeah.
But the first hike I ever went on was the Nepali coast hike in Kauai, and it was 10 hours long. That was my first ever hike. I don't think I can beat that. So
Yeah, no, that's legit.
I'll just stop there.
Legit.
Sorry, continue. So do you guys...
sure.
So yeah, continue. Sorry.
Oh, so I do snow sports too. So I snowboard and I ski and I snowshoe. Water sports. Well, I do scuba dive. And I do like skydiving. So if it's outside.
These podcasts make me feel like a loser. I literally listen to you guys and I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. I hate hiking. Okay.
I'm like, hey, Anne, do you want to go to Colorado? She's like, you can drive there. I'll meet you there. You can fly me there.
That's right.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, questions. Do you have questions for this young lady?
Can you keep up with her? I feel like
Yeah, I mean,
that is
real.
a common question.
That's where it's
I know.
at of seeing. I mean, that is extreme. I mean, that's amazing. You've done all of that.
Bro,
That's
I'll
just-
introduce you to my
that's
naturopath.
impressive.
They have pills for that, bro. Don't worry about it.
Oh my gosh.
I got you.
Okay. Have you done dating apps here in Arizona?
Probably 10 days worth in my entire single life.
Okay.
And not much.
And why do you think you're single? Do you think you're picky? Do you think you just haven't found the right person? What do you think?
I think because a lot of times when people get into a relationship with me, they think it sounds fascinating, some of the stuff about me. And then a few months in, they realize, okay, she's not kidding. She does wake up early. She does work out every day. She does eat super healthy.
Do you want a man's opinion?
alcohol.
Do you want a man's opinion on this?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. This is, as a man who's been married for, how long have we been married? 13 years? 14 years? Something like that?
Yep.
This is intimidating as a man. Okay. So you have,
I don't intimidate you at all. because I don't hike and I don't snowboard.
that's not what I said. That's not what I said. This is intimidating. And what I mean by that is you're going into this situation with somebody new who's set in their ways. They already have their own kids. They have their own way of life. And you're trying to mesh, two solids into this one. And that's difficult because there's feelings, there's emotions, there's all of these different things. And this is just my opinion, but think of taking our 3 kids and having to introduce them to some other guy.
Well, first of all, I've trained Charlotte that if we ever get a divorce and you get remarried, what's going to happen? sister's going to have a hard time adapting.
Oh, man. So with that being said, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So you have 3 beautiful women. They all have kids. They're all, they're not spring chickens. They all look great, but they're not 18. They're in their 40s. They're all set in their ways. They have their way of life. They have their systems. They have their programs. They have the way that they do things. And
Mo is 38. And I know I'm going to say this for her because I'm 39 and I'm clinging. I'm clinging in my 30s.
Whatever. You get what I'm saying. We're not college kids trying to learn how to do things here. We're all grown adults with kids, and that's intimidating, especially for a guy who's trying to come into this and work it out with this woman and try to be supportive, be a team player with her, et cetera. That's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. Like, I don't envy this guy right now. I mean, it's not a bad situation to be in, bro. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying.
So, Kellyanne, we haven't asked you, what are your deal breakers?
Oh, my deal breakers? Well, lying would be a deal breaker. A lot like Mo. I like honesty. I just expect kind of like however you show up in the beginning, like be authentic and genuine in who you are. So that's the same person you are 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years. Like show up exactly as you are.
That's hard for a lot of just going through the whole series of things. That's hard for a lot of guys to do because the first 4 months their agent is at with you, and then the true colors really come out. So I envy all 3 of you for having to deal with the situation of this new reality of what dating is and being able to trust and believe what a guy tells you, because just having friends that are dating just like you guys are, I hear all the stories, and it's unfortunate that you guys have to go through all that. And it's unfortunate for me that I come into the picture and I'm automatically not trusted, and I have to prove myself and I have to show that it's me and this and that. So I get all the hangups that are in today's life as far as dating, unfortunately, which sucks for both sides.
That's what I'm talking about. That's he literally, put ink to paper right there about exactly what I was talking about.
Let me tell you. So yesterday at lunch with my niece, I was like, she was talking about some guy she was dating, and
she's like 30, by the way.
Yeah. She was like, oh, I'm dating this, or went out with this guy, and the first time I was with him, he was just yelling and getting upset about some other thing, and he wouldn't stop. And I was like, I would hide my crazy for at least a few months. I mean, as funny as that is, it's a little bit true though. People do naturally hold back. I'm not saying I'm totally crazy. I mean, Jesse would admit. But I mean, when you're dating somebody, you do hold back that part for the beginning. Do you guys feel like you do that? Do you feel like you're just right away?
I feel like when I'm very honest in the beginning with everything, and I like that out of a partner. But I think the thing is too, as far as deal breakers is, what's difficult is if you're in a relationship with somebody or dating someone and considering that, when you feel like they put on you where you're going to pay the price for their previous people and the stuff they did to them.
The baggage.
Exactly. And people need to come into, you shouldn't date until you're healed.
Most people don't do that these days, though.
Do
they
the
just
work.
go straight into the next thing because they can't handle being alone in their terms.
Right.
And that's another unfortunate thing of anyone on both sides, again, walking into that situation, that if they're still holding on to that, it's just not going to work.
Therapy is
or
key.
It's going to be a lot of effort to try to make it work. And then it's one of those things, like you said, everyone has to heal first and then move forward. But people are right now. And so that's hard for people to sit out for a year.
I don't think it matters if you're single or dating or married. I think everybody should go to therapy, talk to somebody, get that brain massage once a month, once a week, whatever it is. I think that's just, it's like going to the gym. It's something, your mind is such a powerful thing. And if you don't take care of it, no bueno.
Well, and we have so many resources now too. You can go on podcasts. You got books on Audible. I mean, there's weekend conferences.
No doubt.
Do the work.
Self-help is definitely out there. It's just making the effort to do it.
Agreed. All right. So we're running out of time, but we gotta learn about Mike. We need Mike to spill the tea about him.
Yeah, spill the tea.
What's Mike?
More questions?
Do you have any more questions, Kellyanne?
Oh.
For Mike?
You know what? I did want to ask at least one. Yeah. So
ask as many as you want.
2 or 3.
Okay. I want to know what your most recent book was that you read.
Well, if it's a deal breaker too. So here's the story of why I don't read books. Unfortunately, I've gotten in the past. I feel like in college I read a lot because I was accounting and business law and all that stuff. So unfortunately, I read myself out. It's hard for me to read books to elongated form and get through something. I'm a lot on article type stuff.
What's the topic on those then?
I haven't used any of that, a book or an author and that kind of thing to read.
If you do listen to it though, if you were to like listen to a podcast or what would it be? A business podcast, a self-help podcast?
Yeah, what
or
subject?
Like,
what subject
it would be,
fires you up?
I think it would be business towards the stock market type podcast, or it'd be something geared towards sports.
That's fair. I don't read books either.
Me neither.
It's hard for me to keep my attention going on that. I'd rather watch the movie of the book than read the book.
Does that sound familiar? I literally spend 14 hours a day in a truck. I'm like, I can listen to podcasts, I can listen to books on tape, but sitting and physically reading anything, no, not going to happen.
I'm like Mike. I read so many boring books in college and in high school, and I think I suffer from trauma, PTSD. Like they were so bad and so boring that I'm just...
Yeah.
I'm into reading my
Oh God. You ever seen like an 80-year-old lady that fucking knits and like reads all day?
I'm wearing my big cardigan right now too. I have my Kindle with the crown, Court of Thorn and Roses. Has anybody read it? Oh my gosh, you guys, read it.
I'll be like, Anne, hey, Anne. And she'll be like, hold on, let me just finish this chapter. I'm like, no. Anne.
I love reading. What have you been reading, Kellyanne?
I actually just finished The Power of Receiving.
Oh, wow. I like
it. It was really good. And then The Body Keeps the Score. It's a long one, so I'm taking that bits and pieces. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Any more questions, anyone? Okay, so Mike, are you ready for the wing ceremony? Have you decided which co-pilot you're going to take off with?
No.
What? Do you need some clarification?
Okay.
So...
Yeah, let me go through the ladies really quick. Okay, so we had Melissa first, who's Mo Loans. Okay. Then we had Tracy. If you remember anything about Tracy, the nurse. Okay. Great.
Lainey Wilson, is that the name?
Yeah, great Lainey Wilson hat, 100%. And then last but not least was Kelley Anne. Lots of paddleboarding, hiking, etc. Okay.
You can't go wrong with either of them. They're amazing, inside and out.
There's no bad choices. It's all going to come down to you, what you like, and what you would do when you're in that. Like I said, think of going to dinner with mom. What questions would you ask? What things are important to you?
Reminding everybody he is still blindfolded. Jesse just tried to shove some metal wings into his hand with like a sharp edge on him. He's like,
that's right. Can I get a Band-Aid,
very
please?
nicely take him. But yeah, you can ask another question if you need to like clarify or ask us something.
I would love it if you asked each of the ladies a question. And not only that, but maybe, we have like a minute left, so no pressure. But, anything that you don't know or you're thinking about, feel free to ask.
Kind of a question, I guess I'm thinking of what I've come across lately, and this is just kind of where women are at and who they've been with in the past is, I guess this would be for all three of them, just because of the personalities that I know I'm dealing with and just trying to see the type of person you go after. But have any of you dated a fireman and or a police officer?
Service members.
And I'm not either one.
Yes.
Just so you guys know.
Mo says yes. Kellyanne is answering now.
No.
Negative.
Oh, wait. I apologize. In college, I dated someone who became in college.
That doesn't count.
Okay, no.
Already is.
Tracy. This is Tracy.
Yes, a detective.
Okay. Fair enough.
Why do you ask?
Yeah, good question.
Just because the persona that these guys tend to have as far as traits and how they treat women. And so I know some women are attracted to the uniform or whatever it is, but then once they start dating these, as they would say, a lot of them are narcissistic type personalities, and they've twisted women's minds to no end. So I've seen a lot of that. Where I'm at, and just the women that I know that have done that. It just messes with their minds. So it's just kind of trying to see, hey, is that that type of personality who turns into a bad personality, or is it somebody?
That was pretty deep. Last question.
That kind of thing. So that was just a thought I had, just to kind of see.
Which co-pilot? Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, though, but I think a lot of us still have dated narcissists.
Oh,
well,
right?
that's true.
It's true.
There's more in just those two fields that have that, correct. But that's the other part that's out there as well. So,
okay, so Mike, it's time to pick your co-pilot. Present those wings, baby.
how do I present them?
So, this is what we're going to do. You can't take off the blindfold yet because you haven't chosen. But Kellyanne.
But I'm going to have to pin them without blindfold.
No.
Wow.
You're going to pick.
That's going to be impressive.
You're going to tell us who you pick. from getting to know them in this short hour and their personalities. And once you do that, we can take your blindfold off. You can get up and go meet the 3 ladies after you've told us who you're going to choose and why. So without further ado.
Last rundown on names.
Yes. Kelley Anne is the paddleboarder, hiker, serious outdoors woman. Melissa Malones, if you remember her.
Yep.
Okay. And then the nurse, Tracy, with the incredible Lainey Wilson hat.
Who loves music and loves concerts.
No pressure. It's go time.
Do I have to do right now?
Right now, dude.
5 more minutes?
No. Yeah. Where's your head at? Who do you want to take to meet mom?
I'm going to see if Tracy will meet mom.
Awesome. All right. Tracy, do you accept these wings? I like it. Okay. You can take your blindfold off and your headphones now and go meet the ladies.
Woohoo! Okay, Mike, this is Tracy, your pick. Do you accept his wings? She does. Yes, it's a success.
Love it.
Thank you guys so much for coming in today. Tune in next week to check out our new set of singles who are looking to mingle. And if you want to be featured on the show or are interested in any of these contestants on the show, visit flyingsoloaz.com and follow us on social media, Flying Solo AZ. And if you're interested in Cool Breeze Mike or any of the singles from sparkoffline.com, contact the CLO Chief Love Officer Karen Monique at sparkoffline.com.
Thank you for flying with us. We are clear to land.